Hello, we are the Aokis. We like to share about meaningful topics related to family. Today we'd like to talk about the importance of having father and son and mother and daughter time.
As parents, we recognize more and more that we are also teachers for our children. And it's important to keep this in mind that we are educating and teaching our children to become future mothers or future fathers as well.
I really love that perspective. We're not just there to be a friend, but we're also there to help them prepare for their future, to equip them with what they're going to need to really have a successful future.
As parents, always we want our kids to be even better than we are. So why not instill these values and these lessons that we've learned in our lives, already give them to our own children, and they can already be kind of ahead of the game. You know, they're in a better position, a better understanding of things, at their age than we were when we were their age.
I want to raise my boys with self-discipline so that they can achieve anything in life, regardless of any challenge or difficulty they face. And I also want them to be gentlemen that are kind and loving and have empathy towards others. So with self-discipline, it's really about being able to have full mastery over their bodies because they're very active, and I use that activeness and that hyperness that they have to try to instill that lesson of how important it is to have self-control. So for example, if they get too wild, they might hurt each other. So I always tell them it gets exciting to wrestle or to play outside, and fighting scenes imagined in their minds between heroes and bad guys. But I always tell them you got to have self-control so that you don't hurt others. It's okay to play, but you don't want anybody to get hurt. Sometimes I would take my boys out to go running or to do some physically strenuous work, and when they get tired and want to give up, I'll use that as an opportunity to teach them, look, I know you're tired, I know you don't feel like doing it anymore, but you can push yourself. There's this energy, this strength inside that allows you to keep going. And this is a good lesson for life, to never give up no matter what. You can always find that strength to push your physical body. And on the flip side though, when they're fidgety and they can't sit still, I tell them that's also part of self-discipline, is being able to control yourself when you have to sit still. Stop fidgeting around when we have our family meeting. Have a grip over yourself, right?
I feel like as a mom, it's really important to embrace these more feminine qualities that girls naturally have. And sometimes I just think it's so adorable and cute when my youngest daughter comes into the kitchen. She wants to help me cook something for the family, and of course my boys, they like to help cook too if it's something that they really want to eat. But as a mother, I really want them to encourage this sense of nurturing, taking care of, and really loving, really thinking about the needs and the wants of others as well. And it's just something so precious and valuable to have that time, just with the girls, because I know one day they'll be amazing mothers and amazing wives, and I just want the best for them. I want to give all that I have so they can be even better than me one day. For our daughters, I also feel it's really important that they understand their brothers. One day they'll have to marry a guy, and it's important that they can understand how guys think, the kind of things that they do, and they can be a little bit more patient and understanding. So for example, our eldest daughter, she was at the dinner table talking about something that she experienced or that she saw. And her younger brother, Sean, he was kind of just looking at her with this face, and he didn't quite know what she was talking about, or didn't quite agree or something. And then she just stopped mid-sentence and she said, "Sean, why are you looking at me like that?" And he's like, "What? I'm not. I didn't do anything." Right?
Like what? It's like that look you have on your face. Like what? What look?
So she was getting upset about this thing that she thought that he was doing that he didn't even realize he was doing. It just, simply.
She felt like he was mocking her.
Yeah. So these kind of things go on a lot in our families because we have, lots of siblings, but it's really good training for both our sons and daughters to understand how to relate with boys and girls, and there's going to be differences. And I had to explain to Suna, please don't feel offended, don't get so upset with Sean. And he really wasn't trying to get you mad or frustrated. Sometimes we just have to be a little bit more understanding and patient with our younger siblings or boys that don't understand these like silent messages that girls can send to each other. Yeah, that was a good lesson for her, but also for Sean as well, that the kind of actions and even body movements or whatever it is that you may be doing does give some kind of message, good or bad, and it's important to learn that when you're young.
So because our boys are very physically active, I use that as an opportunity to teach them the lessons of self-discipline and self-control in the context of physical activity. There's actually this recent story where all the kids were outside in the backyard on a hot summer day, and they decided to have a water gun fight, and all the kids got excited. And at one point what happened was all the boys ganged up on Suna, our daughter, and she ended up getting quite upset, and she was crying about that. And the boys at first didn't even understand why she was so upset. They were like, what? And she said, because you guys were all ganging up on me. And they were like, oh, sorry. And that wasn't enough for her. And she was still hurt and she was still crying. So I had to have a talk with the boys. And I was like, look, boys, there's one thing that your mom taught me about. And trust me, I don't fully understand this either, but this is part of gaining the wisdom to prepare to be a good husband and good dad. You have to understand that people have feelings, and therefore you have to make sure that her feelings are okay. It's not that she has no physical damage. It's like, what? What's wrong? I didn't hurt her. She's not bleeding, but her feelings are hurt. And so that matters. And so I taught that to my boys, and they said, okay. And they tried again to apologize. And this time, Suna was able to accept her apology because she felt there was a lot more empathy behind it.
I do want to say that I really appreciate Kenshu being a guy and being able to help me understand my sons better. I feel like as a mother, there's just some things I don't quite understand 100% about my sons since I'm not a guy, and also vice versa. And I can also help my husband understand my daughters a bit better. Definitely. And it's really good cooperation and give and take in that way. And also, interestingly enough, through my sons, I can actually understand my husband a bit better because they're a part of my husband that I never saw until after we had kids. And then for our daughters as well, maybe through my daughters, Kenshu can also see a side of me that he didn't understand until we had our own kids. So it's so interesting how in all these different family relationships, there's like a whole realm that you can discover with each child, with each relationship that's there. And it's so valuable and so meaningful to learn all of these lessons in these unique relationships of the family.
So dads, please remember that you are the role models for your sons, and you are the #1 teacher that can help your sons learn and prepare for what it means to be a great husband and a responsible father. So please take time to teach them all the lessons that you've learned in life, all the wisdom that you've gained that helped you become a better family man.
Mm-hmm. And as moms, fellow moms, please understand that you are also your role model for your daughters as well. And make sure to teach them all the lessons that you've learned so that they can be even better than you are now.
They can get a head start.
They can get a head start. Why not?
Thank you very much for watching. We hope you were able to resonate with some of the perspectives that we shared today. If you found this video meaningful, please feel free to share it with your family and friends. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.